based on your legal expertise, do you have anything that you would tell Kristi Noem right now?
Well, she should certainly go find herself a good lawyer. But the Democrats made it clear today, either she is going to resign or she's going to be fired, or we are launching comprehensive impeachment proceedings that will culminate with my committee, the Judiciary Committee, Democrats, conducting hearings across the country and across the range of all of her constitutional crimes and offenses. And we are going to arraign her on those impeachment charges. We know that we are in the minority, but we believe we will have all the Democrats with us, and it will just take a handful of Republicans to come over for us to impeach her. And already you can see Republicans across the country distancing themselves from Kristi Noem and her horrifically incompetent and cruel presiding over the Homeland Security Department.
Do you have a timeline for when you would pursue it? Is there a red line, or is it definitely just happening?
Well, if we get back next week and she's not gone yet, if she hasn't resigned or she's not been fired, we're going to start and we're going to announce it. And it will be 3 committees working together. It'll be my committee, the Judiciary Committee, with the Homeland Security Committee, which is the subject matter jurisdiction committee over the Homeland Security Department. So that's my friend Benny Thompson, who chaired the January 6th Select Committee. And it will be the Oversight Committee where Robert Garcia is the ranking member. The 3 of us will work together to systematically go through all of the treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors committed by Kristi Noem, but beginning with these cold-blooded killings of U.S. citizens in broad daylight in American communities that have turned the country upside down. And even Donald Trump is backpedaling and running away from it. And pretty soon with J.D. Vance seeing Donald Trump run away from it, he'll run away from it too, although he was one of the first ones out there, repeating the imbecility that these U.S. citizens peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights were somehow domestic terrorists. That's a projection on their part. People are getting the sense that this is a government out of control. The letter that was sent yesterday by Attorney General Bondi gives the game away. It has nothing to do with immigration. Yep. They want now the voter lists from Minnesota. This is all about trying to control our democracy and to control the population. So the people of Minnesota heroically have demonstrated, building on the success of people in Chicago, in Portland, in LA, in DC, that if we hang together in total solidarity across geographic lines, across political lines, we can defeat this. But this is where we are now. And so we need everybody who's in public office to be working with everybody who's in political leadership in the streets to oppose authoritarianism in America, using every means at our disposal.
Is not unlike the $2.5 billion breathtaking Medicare fraud scheme uncovered last year in the home state of the chairman of this subcommittee, as he himself mentioned, or the massive COVID-19 unemployment assistance fraud scheme uncovered in Chairman Jordan's home state of Ohio. Fraud is endemic in government all over the world. There are fraudsters attacking our public institutions, trying to undermine them and rip them off. Even our president has been convicted of 34 counts of criminal fraud by a jury of his peers in New York related to the fraudulent payments made to porn star Stormy Daniels, and also civilly convicted in New York for different kinds of real estate fraud. Fraud is not headquartered in one state or one municipality, much less one ethnic, racial, or religious community.
Here's something you might not have heard about that should be a new source of outrage. Attorney General Pam Bondi wrote to the government of Minnesota, seeming to link the violence there with a demand, an illegal demand, for sensitive voter files and voter records from Minnesota. The Secretary of State of Minnesota, he certainly read it that way. He said it was a ransom demand, and he said no. Why this connection? It's part, really, of a very big push by the Trump administration all over the country for this kind of voter information, part of its drive, we think, to undermine the 2026 midterm elections.
So A judge signed a warrant for this search, which according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, included all physical ballots from the 2020 general election in Fulton County, all tabulator tapes from every voting machine, all ballot images during the original count, and all of the voter rolls. That's what we know according to reporting at this point. Why do you think, we all have our theories, but why do you think DOJ is doing this right now? Trump's DOJ is doing this right now.
Jen, thank you for having me. And this is a seismic event. This should have people across the country absolutely shook. This is a huge deal. This is an FBI raid on the Fulton County Elections Office. His conspiracy theories about the 2020 election have been based in Georgia from the very start. Georgia is where he called the Secretary of State and said, find me the votes that he needed to win in a state he had lost. So much of the big lie that led to the January 6th sacking of the United States Capitol, that had a mob seeking the Speaker of the House and the Vice President to lynch them, originated in his lies about the state of Georgia. And here he has the FBI, which there are so many hardworking, diligent public servants in FBI field offices all across the country, but its headquarters now in the thrall of these political appointees, Kash Patel and Bongino and this guy from Missouri in the deputy role, who are partisan political actors, raiding this election office in Georgia, seizing all of this information, all of these records, taking it who knows where, chain of custody now broken. And here's the thing. This is a shot across the bow at the midterm elections. He tried to steal power when he lost it in 2020. We have to be prepared for all kinds of schemes and shenanigans. We have to be prepared for him to try to deprive people of their voting rights.
Donald Trump and his administration up to this point seem pretty determined that they're just never going to face consequences for what they're doing in this administration. You know, on the one hand, it's true that the Supreme Court deemed it that anything that the president does is labeled a presidential action, and so they can't be held accountable for it in the court system. But Donald Trump is pushing the lever so far, I don't really know how much that's going to hold. I mean, this dude has $300 million sitting in a slush fund account in his name in Qatar, a country that gave him a $400 million private jet. I mean, we've never seen this type of corruption. His Gestapo going around the country, literally murdering people, except now it's different. You know, now that these officers aren't just shooting black people in the streets, they shooting white people in the streets. So now it's completely different. Because at the end of the day, the people who fill up ICE, you know, these 10,000 recruits, you know, police academy rejects, online trolls who finally have an opportunity to put some money in their pockets and be a part of a group in person. But nah, man, I mean, Pete Hegseth, right now, there's a huge lawsuit against the Trump administration for the boats that they've been blowing up off the coast of Venezuela. There's so many things that they're going to have to face. All the departments that they've been defunding arbitrarily. All of a sudden, they'll just try to defund child care for the whole country, well, blue states, that is. And of course, a federal judge comes and knocks it back, but they're constantly pushing the boundaries. Like well over half of what Donald Trump has done executively has been illegal. So, nobody else in his administration is deemed safe and immune from being prosecuted. So we still got another 3 years left of these people breaking laws left and right. I think it's pretty safe to assume that a good chunk of these people are going to find themselves in prison.